Hi, hi. Hey, Steve. Hi. I feel like I walked in on a conversation. Good afternoon, everybody. We have Admiral John Kirby here today. He's going to give a preview of German Chancellor Scholz's visit tomorrow and take any foreign policy questions you all may have. And after that, we'll continue the briefing. Thanks.
Afternoon, everybody. Tomorrow, as you know, President Biden's going to welcome German Chancellor Olaf Scholz here to the White House to discuss our bilateral cooperation on a range of global security and economic issues. The President looks forward, of course, to welcoming him back here to the White House, where they last met in February of 2022, soon after the Chancellor took office. And over the last year, they've seen each other on the margins of the G7 summit in Germany, at NATO, at the G20 summit, and of course, they've talked on the phone regularly. They most recently spoke last week as part of the G7 leaders' call on the anniversary of Russia's invasion. The visit comes as we mark 1 year since that invasion started, and we're proud of the collective efforts that we've taken together to provide Ukraine with the capabilities they need. And we've worked hand in hand with Germany and the Quad, the G7, allies and partners all over the world, including through the Ukraine Defense Contact Group, to do exactly that. We've closely coordinated our support to Ukraine throughout this conflict, including through joint announcements in January to provide infantry fighting vehicles and tanks. Germany has provided significant air defense support to Ukraine, including a Patriot battery, the Iris-T air defense system, which is an infrared seeking system, and 5 multiple launch rocket systems. As you all know, Germany is also a close NATO ally and host to our largest U.S. military force presence in Europe, which has been pivotal this year as we have again tried to reinforce our NATO allies and bolstered the eastern flank of NATO and the deterrence there. A large portion of U.S. training of Ukrainian forces occurs at our bases in Germany, and our German colleagues have also conducted their own training of Ukrainians also in Germany. And just last week, we worked together to rally global support at the UN for Ukraine's resolution on a just peace. And we've also been supportive of the Chancellor's efforts to implement policy changes to respond to the changed security environment, including increasing Germany's defense spending and rapidly transitioning from Russian energy sources. I'm sure the leaders will discuss their recent engagements with Ukrainian officials, including the president's trip to Kyiv and meeting with President Zelensky, as well as Chancellor Scholz's meeting with President Zelensky in Paris last month. We anticipate that the two leaders will also exchange views on the upcoming NATO summit and other global issues like the challenges posed by the People's Republic of China. All in all, we expect that this will be a true working visit between these two leaders, and we're looking very much forward to getting some things done. We also announced early this afternoon that President Biden looks forward to welcoming next week President Ursula von der Leyen of the European Commission here to the White House on Friday, the 10th of March, another working visit. We expect their discussion to cover a range of international security challenges, of course, including support for Ukraine. They will also discuss U.S. and EU coordination to combat the climate crisis and clean tech, and take stock of the Joint Task Force on Europe's energy security that they both established a year ago. Just one quick follow-up here. I think you also saw that today the president released the administration's national cybersecurity strategy. Now, this administration has taken an aggressive approach to strengthening our nation's cybersecurity since day one. And this strategy builds on the president's work over the last 2 years in that regard. The strategy released today will set forth a new vision for the future of cyberspace and the wider digital ecosystem. It will rebalance the responsibility for managing cyber risk onto those who are most able to bear it, including large enterprises and the federal government, and away from those who can and should not have to bear it, including local governments, tribal territories, small businesses, even individual citizens. The National Security Strategy, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and other major administration initiatives are moving the nation toward a more equitable economy, a clean energy transition, a stronger democracy, and a more competitive workforce. With the National Cybersecurity Strategy, we will protect all of these investments by increasing our collective security and systemic resilience. That strategy and the fact sheet are now available on whitehouse.gov. Hope you guys go take a look at it.
John, with the Ukraine preparing for this offensive, are the two leaders going to discuss accelerating military assistance to Ukraine?
I think without question, Steve, they're going to talk about the kinds of capabilities that Ukraine continues to need in the weeks and months ahead. You'll see us tomorrow, just unilaterally, the U.S. will have another round of assistance for Ukraine coming tomorrow. And it will include mostly ammunitions and munitions that the Ukrainians will need for the systems that they already have, like the HIMARS and the artillery. So I can't predict a specific outcome tomorrow. I wouldn't look for that, but certainly they will.
I should adjust my pointer. I should adjust my pointer and make it big like I had it before. But for right now, if you can pay attention to my pointer, or you can look on the screen and point things out for yourself, like the lighthouse up under the interpreter. And then, or it could be something else, you know. Then how the tassels are set on the flag. He's advertising those bracelets. Could be. I mean, that could be an iWatch. But it's sure loud enough to be noticed. In that loud orange, he's given the signal of they're moving from, it's like an amber alert. That's just my take on him standing there lying. Okay? He's good at it. He's good at it too. Look. Look. Oh, I can't wait for Jean to come up and be batting her eyes all fast. Huh? As soon as her eyes start batting fast, she telling the truth, y'all. You know, it's usually reverse and other, but when she batting it fast, she telling the truth. See how the interpreter toned down her look? Once again, you see what I'm saying? She toned down her look. And they don't have her under the hatch act when she stand next to Jean. See that? I'm just saying. Okay. Let him talk. Here's the bracelet. Let me go back to the bracelet.
And away from those who can and should not have to bear it, including local governments, tribal territories, small businesses, even individual citizens. The National Security Strategy, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and other major administration initiatives are moving the nation toward a more equitable economy, a clean energy transition, a stronger democracy, and a more competitive workforce. With the National Cybersecurity Strategy, we will protect all of these investments by increasing our collective security and systemic resilience. That strategy and the fact sheet are now available on whitehouse.gov. Hope you guys go take a look at it.
John, with the Ukraine preparing for this offensive, are the two leaders going to discuss accelerating military assistance to Ukraine?
I think without question, Steve, they're going to talk about the kinds of capabilities that Ukraine continues to need in the weeks and months ahead. You'll see us tomorrow, just unilaterally, the U.S. will have another round of assistance for Ukraine coming tomorrow. And it will include mostly ammunitions and munitions that the Ukrainians will need for the systems that they already have, like the HIMARS and the artillery. So I can't predict a specific outcome tomorrow. I wouldn't look for that, but certainly they will.
Is those the bands that they give them just for being a moving around the White House, I guess? I don't want to, Yeah, maybe I'm jumping to conclusion. That's not the armbands that was in the train wreck. That's the bands that they use when they're in the White House. Everybody should have on a band, right? Or something like that, right? Let me see. Let me look at
We'll
all
be
the other
discussing additional support for Ukraine going forward.
people sitting there. Wait.
Ukraine preparing for this offensive, are the two leaders?
Oh, yep. He has one on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. While everyone else is hiding. Oh, yep, he has one on. It's not an Amber Alert. He's looking at the camera. Uh, he's hiding from the camera. She has a gray streak like they did when I was in elementary. I knew a little girl had a gray streak. It was beautiful. I thought it was so pretty. Look, then they got somebody sitting under the veil. Look at there. Look, look, look right there in the corner. Oh, is that a coat rack? I don't know. It looked like someone sitting under a veil. Can I blow this up?
Leaders going to discuss accelerating military assistance to Ukraine.
I think without
Wait a minute.
security strategy, the bipartisan infrastructure law, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and other major administration initiatives are moving the nation toward a
Don't y'all see that? She had on a hat and all.
more equitable economy, a clean energy transition, a stronger democracy, and a more these investments by increasing our. We'll have another round of assistance for Ukraine coming tomorrow, and it will include. With the national cybersecurity strategy, we will protect all of these investments by increasing our collective security and systemic resilience. That strategy and the fact sheet are now available on whitehouse.gov, and hope you guys go take a look at it.
John, with the Ukraine preparing for this offensive,
Because I know that ain't no coat rack. I know everybody ain't throwing their stuff on the same rack like that. Because with all these diseases and everything, what is that? Somebody sitting under something? Huh? Under a veil. And look, two people don't have on masks. No, two people have on Balak mask. Huh? Oh, let's skim the area. He looked like he just lost it. What's going on in his mind? Huh? Look how they're looking at him. Huh? What's going on? Am I sharing the screen? Wait a minute. I can't be doing all this and not be sharing the screen. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Sharing the screen. Okay. Back to it. Somebody said paid actors. Who is this lady under the veil? Huh? Who is that over there? Who is this person under the veil?
are the two leaders going to discuss accelerating military assistance to Ukraine?
I think without question, Steve, they're going to talk about the kinds of capabilities that Ukraine continues to need in the weeks and months ahead. You'll see us tomorrow, just unilaterally, the U.S. will have another round of assistance for Ukraine coming tomorrow. And it will include mostly ammunitions and munitions that the Ukrainians will need for the systems that they already have, like the HIMARS and the artillery. So I can't predict a specific outcome tomorrow. I wouldn't look for that. But certainly they will be discussing additional support for Ukraine going forward. We know that.
Do you have a number for tomorrow's announcement?
We'll just stay tuned and we'll have more detail on that later.
Yeah. Thanks. Just to follow on Steve a little bit, do you expect a discussion of or announcement of Germans moving tank shells or ammunition production to the United States. That's been kind of a issue that's floating out there because it's more difficult, I think, to produce in Europe because of regulatory and other issues. And so it might come here.
We'll have a full readout of the meeting after it's over.
Wait a minute. Are the orange bands a signification of people that haven't gotten or received?
Again, clearly they're going to talk about
Because,
Ukraine
wait,
and how we can all work together
he
to help
has on an
support
orange
them,
band.
as quickly
Wait a minute.
as we possibly can, with as much as we can, but I don't have anything specific on that proposal.
Go ahead, Nadia.
Thank you. Thanks, Gwen. Hi, John. Iran is reported to be enriching uranium up to 84% of working grade level.
Oh, the screen changed. Look at the color of his band now. It's not orange anymore. Yeah, the lady under the veil is still there. Okay, he has on an orange band. Everybody has on an orange band, but his changed to white.
What is your response to that? If there's any consequences for them, and how does it complicate any chances of going back to the GCPOA? And I have another question.
I'm not in a position to confirm those reports. Clearly, one of the reasons why, when this administration took office, we wanted to get back in the Iran deal was because without the Iran deal in place, Iran was free to continue enrichment and free to further decrease the breakout time to weeks and months from what had been more than a couple of years. That's why we wanted to get back in the Iran deal. The Iran deal right now is still not a focus of the agenda. As Iran continues to supply military equipment and capabilities to Russia so that they can continue to kill Ukrainians, as they continue to crack down on protesters in their own country, and as they continue to support terrorists throughout the Middle East and Levant. So it's just not a focus for the administration right now.
After the Israeli settlers attacked the village of Hawara in the West Bank next to Nablus, the Israeli finance minister has called for the wipe.
Hey, that's God body. That look like God, but oh, wait a minute. Some of these look like YouTube creators. Huh? I swear I've seen some of these. She looks like an android. Huh?
Out of this village. Is this a language that's acceptable from one of your closest allies?
No, it's not. And we've already talked about that. We've spoken to that. That's not acceptable language. And we continue, as always, to urge both sides to take no steps, and certainly not to participate in rhetoric that are only going to escalate the tensions.
On the Blinken-Lavrov meeting, this was obviously the first time that they've spoken face-to-face since Russia invaded. Why did the U.S. feel now was the right time to have this conversation? And also, the Russians say that it was at Blinken's request. Is that correct?
It was a pull-aside. They were in the same room at the G20 in New Delhi. And Secretary Blinken took the opportunity available to him to make three key points. One, we don't want Russia to suspend their participation in New START because that treaty makes both our countries safer. Two, we want Paul Whelan back. We got a proposal on the table. They ought to take it. And three, we're going to continue to support Ukraine.
China, though, was not on that list. Is there a reason why it didn't
It was a
come up?
10-minute pull-aside. It wasn't a pre-scheduled long bilat kind of a meeting. I mean, it was an opportunity that Secretary Blinken took advantage of.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, everybody was there at the table, including Putin. Everybody was there at the G20 Summit Valley meeting where they discussed the food products. I want to hurry up and wind it up because look what I have. Look. Federal Register. Nope. Press Congress. They getting ready, Betty. This week, Biden finna get all this on the table. Everything that's passed in House and Senate that means something to everything that they saying. He said, I hope y'all would take a look at it. He was talking to the whole world. He said, I hope y'all take a look at it. Because you see here, the Strategic Production Response Act is passed in the House. Because Biden done paid tomorrow or within the next few days is going to pass in the Senate and the president, because the president said it today at the end of his stuff, start sending the bills. Y'all need me to get out the way. Look, 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 look. These right here are just the ones passed in the House for February. I done clicked on some of them, and every single one of them, the words and terminology in the briefing that Miss Kiki is about to do and what Kirby just did is in the House, ready to go to law. This is what the president can do, protecting the reserves from China. Strategic Response Act. Go click on it. I could click it for you and make it easy. You don't even have to click on it. Just know. Have your seeds and your bug out bags. You're not going to really have to run nowhere, but at least your bug out bag is complete with all the necessities you need. Because in these acts, they're prepared for extreme. Let me click on one of them. Let me click on this one like I did earlier. And click on it again here. Look at this act they about to put on the table. In the Senate, January 30th, 2023. I got to blow up the screen. I mean, magnify it. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to let you read it for yourself, Let me put on some background music or something. Do you need background music? You need to see when they get to Colorado, when they start talking about Colorado in this thing right here. What he's saying in this press briefing is we are ready for all of the disasters that are about to happen. Are you ready? I hope you're going to take a look at the stuff that I'm saying. Each one of them have an empathetic face, like look, wait a minute. Let me go back to the Federal Register. Stick to it. Look. There again, Biden, the Constitution, prosperity and national security, resilient biological threats, cyber attacks, critical goods, products and services, America's competitive edge, economy distressed areas, America's supply chains. This order, the head of agencies should be as appropriate to consult outside stakeholders, labor unions, state, local, tribal, 100-day supply chain review, packaging supplies, manufacturing, semiconductor, Secretary of Energy, looked like Secret Energy for a second there. Submit the report, identify supply chains, vehicles, batteries. That's just for the cars. Order 13953, addressing the threat to domestic supply chains and critical minerals from foreign adversaries, supporting domestic mining, rare elements on Earth. Heads of appropriate stockpile management. I should have typed in the HR 6666, what you said. Somebody said HR 66666. Or however many sixes he put. Goods and materials, raw goods, essential, pharmaceutical, everything up in here. Transportation, production and availability, gaps and opportunities. Critical goods, material goods, essential goods, materials identified in subsections. They say that since you don't know what we mean when we say good, we're going to break down what good means. Huh? You want it good, huh? You need it good. You good. Look at good. They say, look, when we say good, we mean critical goods, materials and other essential goods, and materials identified in subsections of this section, and possible avenues of international engagements. In assessing these allied and partner actions, head of agencies shall consult with the Secretary of State. Look how many times they put chains in this paragraph. Chain. Chain of foods, chains, men working on the chains, supply chains. Look at the stockpiles and chains. Should I be singing Break Every Chain right now? The chain wasn't broken when I was singing it back then. Would it make a difference now if I sang Break Every Chain? Break every chain. Break every chain. If everybody starts singing Break Every Chain, nope, they will be upset because they want their hair done, their nails done, their money right, Whatever Biden is buying them, they want it to be on point before they sing any chain breaking song, I'm just saying, I'm not saying this stuff here. The president them wrote this. I didn't write it. I didn't put this here. Any executive, legislative, regulatory, and policy changes and any other actions to strengthen the capabilities identified in subsection. Go ahead, come over here and read this like you reading your daily bread. Read it like you reading your Bible. Read it like you reading your Quran. Read it like you reading your Torah. Is the Torah to be read or felt? Read it like you blowing in a conch shell. Read it. Y'all need to read what America has got going on for the Americans. Steps to strengthen the supply chains. We got to get the chains on them. We got to get the chains. Monopoly is in the game. Communities of color is in the game. Steps to ensure that the government supply chain policy supports small businesses, prevents monopolization, considers climate and other environmental impacts, encourages economic growth, communities of color, and economically distressed areas, and ensures geographic dispersal of economic activity across all regions of the United States of these Americas. Critical materials of the infrastructure, critical minerals, Other essential goods and materials means goods and materials essential to national and economic security, emergency preparedness, or to advance the policy set forth in Section 1 of this order, but not included within the definition of critical goods and materials. It's all good. I don't need to talk about it no more. Not this one. Let's go to the next one that she's going to bring up. America's supply chains. Was I supposed to be reading that? In general, production increase plan. Secretary of Defense. Democratic Republic. Communities, agriculture, natural resources, Colorado. Okay. Energy Policy and Conservation Act. Except in the case of severe energy supply interruption described in subsection D, the Secretary may not execute first drawdown of petroleum products in a reserve after the date of enactment of this subsection. Look, except in the case of a severe energy supply interruption. So they're going to have a severe energy supply interruption so they could go ahead and access it, right? First drawdown of petroleum products in the reserve after the date of the enactment subsection, whether through sale, exchange, or loan, until the Secretary is developed and submitted to the Congress a plan to increase the percentage of federal lands, including submerged lands and outer continental shelf, under the jurisdiction, submerged lands. They mean the hollow earth lands, the ones they said outer continental shelf. You mean the image that flat earth them be showing with another set of continents on the outer shelf? Did they just say that? Here, yo! Oh my goodness. Oh my God. They have to come with the whole truth and nothing but the truth on these last days. They just said it in your face. You'll have to blow it up, including those lands, including the lands that submerged under the water, the hollow earth, including the outer continental shelf. What outer continental shelf? You mean to tell me the government agrees once again? Once again? I said it when I said, look, I said it when I said NASA. Y'all go to NASA and NASA tell you what they think about flat earth theory, making it seem like flat earth and NASA don't work together. Now you got the secretary saying, look, we just finna let them know y'all, you don't have nothing else to debate about. Here it is, right here. Yes, this is the shape of the earth, and there is an outer continental shelf. There are lands submerged up under the land that we're talking about on federal lands. Yes, there's tunnels. We done showed you, we done let y'all know everything. What we're telling you here is we can't get none of the petroleum or anything else. We can't draw that down and take it unless there's a severe energy supply interruption. And while we're showing you that that's the only way we can get it, we hope you will read everything that we've been putting down for you. He said it. I hope y'all will read it. Now here, let me finish reading what they said. What else they saying? You see that date? They just reenacting it. Readmitted it. It's passing. It's gonna pass. He said, put it on my desk. Everything y'all need, put it on my desk. ASAP after he finished talking to Homeland Security today. Put it on the desk. Huh? Consultation. The secretary should, in consultation with Secretary of Agriculture, Secretary of Interior, Secretary of Defense, prepare a plan required by paragraph. Ensure plan will not result in the sale of petroleum products drawn down from the reserve to Iran, China, North Korea, or Russia. Uh, they letting y'all know this is who we standing up against right now. It's about to go down, huh? The Secretary shall submit the plan developed under the paragraph committees Armed Services, Agriculture, Energy, and Commerce, the Natural Resources of House of Representatives, and the Committees of Energy and Natural Resources, Environment and Public Works, Armed Services, and Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry of the Senate. Thompson Divide. What is the Thompson Divide? Uh, as part of the plan developed under paragraph, the Secretary shall identify areas to lease within the approximately 224,793.73 acres, including approximately 200,518.28 acres of the National Forest System land, approximately 15,464.99 acres of public lands, and approximately 8,810.46 the 1018 acres of reserved federal minerals interests within the Thompson Divide area of Colorado. They let you know where they gotta get their petroleum from, and the only way that they can get it is in the case of a severe energy grid shutdown, a supply energy shutdown. They telling you what they about to do. They not hiding it. They ain't making it no secret. They said you can stop debating. You don't have to be going on and on about no outer shells and the way the earth is shaped. We telling you right now, and what we need is your permission. And if I can't get your permission, how that song go? With your permission, if you can't get the permission, we got something for you, but we telling you what it is. All you got to do is read your law, but you don't have to be scared. There's a green light out there, honey. There's a green light, huh? Y'all know how the story goes. Don't you believe in your scripture? I'm going back to my roots. I was raised at Sweetfield Missionary Baptist Church, a small church in Coconut Grove, huh? I didn't want to be in church. I didn't like church. I didn't like wearing stockings. Huh? I liked singing in the choir though. Huh? But I was taught a lot. I had choices. I lived in a household where somebody said, God is a image in you, huh? The Bible is a good storybook, huh? It's not factual, huh? And I lived in a house with somebody that said, this is real, huh? It's real, and I'm gonna go in the closet. It's what they say, even though it might be imaginary. I'm going to believe in it, huh? When I see Jesus, my Jesus look like this, and I had to tear and be torn, but there was something about the roots still, huh? What parts of the story do I believe that I won't shut up and be quiet right about now, huh? In the place to be, huh? Ooh, everything is getting dim. Everything is turning yellow. Look, look. Have you decided who's your God gonna be? And they trying to help you figure it out. Look, the South Atlantic is another area. Uh-oh. I thought See, well, if you look at the maps and how they got the futuristic maps, the flooded out maps, it kind of, it goes into no effect in existing leasing restrictions, South Atlantic, North Atlantic, Colorado. Who else? Ooh, wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. God's gonna trouble the water. I'm just saying. Ah, it's nothing to be afraid of. Those who want to be here for 800 years, you gonna be here. It's okay. Don't think I have the right to jump for joy and be excited about these days. I knew, huh? God had me go through all this hell every time I open my eyes. This is hell just for me to and do right. You got me messed up. I'm excited, huh? All those who've been enjoying and dancing and partying like it's 1999. This is no time to fear when stuff start going down. Keep partying, huh? Whatever road you decide to take, it's gonna be a party on both ends. Either you're gonna be dancing with fire up under your feet, huh? Or dancing in the air, or dancing on the ceiling. I heard they got Hemis and ceilings. Him me. Oh, that sounds so. Ooh. Ah, look. They got it all planned out. Look at this. I didn't write the scriptures. I didn't write none of the holy books. I ain't got nothing to do with the prophets. I didn't do it. Huh? But if they deciding to match things up and make it like it is, why would I be sad? Huh? The only people who have anything to fear is the unrighteous, and they looking scary. Look how he looking. Biden eyes look like his skin was about to peel off when he was talking earlier. The Homeland Security. Everything points to the green light and all the other lights out there. How many lights out there? They can't even keep count now. They can't even keep. They done called Neil deGrasse Tyson in for him to give them some explanations. He said, "What the hell? I only know what y'all been teaching me." Let's see. Huh? Let me let Kiki Jean finish putting on some spells and let's see how she bring them.
To follow up on a couple other topics on that in that neighborhood, any evidence that China has made any further decisions or actions either way, whether to provide lethal aid to Russia?
We've seen it.
Wait, ain't this Ray Liotta? Y'all know who I'm talking about. They say he just passed away. That looked like somebody related to him. Huh?
No indication that they've made that decision. They haven't taken it off the table, Peter, but we haven't seen any indication.
Remains as it was then. Let me ask that if I can. The president said to us a couple of weeks ago when he was speaking about the aerial objects there that he expected to
You look familiar. Peter who? Who is this Peter?
speak soon was his language with President Xi. Is there any update on that? Any formal outreach? When would that take place?
He looked really familiar. Like familiar.
No formal outreach that I'm aware of, Peter, and no call on the schedule.
Okay, then just one last one to punctuate.
You must be on a major news something or media.
Several months ago, the president promised Saudi Arabia would suffer, quote, consequences. That was his language after the Saudi-led OPEC unexpectedly announced it would cut production. Is it fair to say now, this many months later, that that's not going to happen?
I addressed this the other day when I was at the podium here with Karine a few days ago. We talked about this. First of all, there already had been consequences because, as you know, Congress took action to limit arms sales to Saudi Arabia. But we noted on Monday, whenever it was that I talked to you about last, that they had visited Kyiv. They agreed to contribute $400 million of energy infrastructure support to Kyiv, to Ukraine. We found that.
Wait, do you notice? It's just me. Him and Karine move and talk the same way. His hand gestures and the way he tilts his head and even down into the stuttering and how he bats his eyes. Look, watch.
At a welcome development. We're focused on the future now.
Yeah, Patsy. Thanks, Corinne.
Okay.
Is there any update on that? Any formal outreach? When would that take place?
No formal outreach that I'm aware of, Peter, and no call on the schedule.
Okay, then just one last one to punctuate. Several months ago, the president promised Saudi Arabia would suffer, quote, consequences. That was his language after the Saudi-led OPEC unexpectedly announced it would cut production. Is it fair to say now, this many months later, that that's not going to happen?
I addressed this the other day when I was at the podium here with Karine a few days ago. We talked about this. First of all, there already had been consequences because, as you know, Congress took action to limit arms sales to Saudi Arabia. But we noted on Monday, whenever it was that I talked to you about last, that they had visited Kyiv. They agreed to contribute $400 million of energy infrastructure support to Kyiv, to Ukraine. We found that a welcome development. We're focused on the future now.
Yeah, Patsy. Thanks, Corinne. John, I have a question on the cybersecurity strategy, but first on.
Wait a minute. Now, did you see she said thanks, Karine? I guess because she raised her hand and she let her go ahead and go. But I feel like she just talking to the entity that's in him speaking right now. Because, oh, that's fire. Look
On
at it.
Taiwan, the administration has approved a $619 million potential arms sales to Taiwan. That includes hundreds of missiles, including for F-16s. Can you clarify the administration's goals to provide these weapons? And can you address concerns whether you'll be able to fulfill this package, considering the U.S. defense industry is already struggling to fulfill munitions requests for Ukraine?
I don't know.
I'm feeling something about this woman in the veil next to the wall and his movement and Kareem's movement is just alike. Like I'm kind of stuck on that right now. Let me show you. Let's see if I can catch it.
Because you don't think that they will ultimately move in that direction? I'm just trying to get a sense of why seems to be a little bit of a hesitancy to talk in detail about how the U.S. could sanction China.
Secretary Blinken has been clear that
Wait, is that a Bible up there? What is that book? What kind of book is that? Oh, I wish I could blow this up. What is that?
Ultimately move in that direction. I'm just trying to get a sense of why seems to be a little bit of a hesitancy to talk in detail about how the U.S. could sanction China.
Secretary Blinken has been clear that there will be consequences, and he mentioned that sanctions could be one of those consequences. So, I mean, we've laid out that, that there are tools available to not only the United States, but to our, should try to move in that direction. But
seniors on Medicare with diabetes are protected. Seniors started to see their insulin costs capped at $35 per month this past January, saving some seniors hundreds of dollars for a monthly supply this past January, combined with Eli Lilly's announcement, which is the largest insulin manufacturer. We're making in that call that
Did y'all catch the Eli Lilly?
will also
I seen that. I said it
calling
said
for
Illy
all
Lilly, but Eli
move
Lilly.
quickly to get 500,000 North Carolinians covered, which is incredibly important. Zeke, before I go to you, I forgot to tell Peter to welcome back and congratulations on being a dad. And how's baby Kareen doing? She's I had like this delayed reaction.
I do have a lot of hard questions for her when I get home.
Oh, are they hard, or are they seriously hard, or?
You tell me.
I don't want to say the next word that I want to say to that.
You see? Didn't I tell y'all with her soft pea behind? Huh? I knew something slick and slimy and nasty and whorish was gonna come out of her mouth. Huh? But I'm back to her gestures.
Okay,
Thank you.
Zeke, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Karina. Welcome back, Peter. The President just tweeted maybe 2 minutes ago regarding the DC home rule, saying he would sign the resolutions that should have passed the Senate to overturn the changes to DC's criminal code. The President has spoken a bit about his support for DC State in the past. But, why does he believe that he should step in where the residents of DC's elected representatives, pass these changes? Why does he believe that he should substitute his wisdom and judgment for theirs?
So the orange bands are for those who have not received a vaccine. I don't know.
So look, I mean, just to double down and triple down on what the president has said for decades, which is that he believes every city should have the right to self-government. That is still is the same case. That hasn't changed anything. He has long believed that DC statehood should be something that the residents of DC should be allowed. Again, that hasn't changed. But this is different. The way that we see this is it's very different. This is the DC Council put changes forward over the mayor.
See, y'all catch it? You can literally take and put them together side by side, and they move, and their gestures is similar. And this being that's sitting up here in the corner, I think she got something to do with it. That lady up under the veil. Look at that lady up under the veil. Wait a minute. Where's she at? Don't tell me that that's not possible. They wouldn't do something like that. They're telling you everything else they doing. They telling you everything else they doing. They telling you to your face on their paperwork. They got to destroy power in certain areas in order for them to hit the petroleum they need to hit. See that being back there? That's somebody sitting there. And that being, I believe, is speaking or making sure that they speak the way they need to speak. If they say anything they ain't supposed to say, huh? Let me get off of here. I done said too much. Once again, you can go to your Congress. When you go to Congress, huh? See right here? I'm just going to press the arrow back for you. Huh? You can find out, look, all the different my bad, that was passed in the House for January, that he about to get to put on the table to sign. and all of them have to do with what he's saying they working on. They've been worked on it. They've been planned it. They've been set it out. Huh? This ain't no we working on it. Surprise, surprise. Huh? All this was discussed in G20. Huh? All this was discussed at the World Economic Forum. Hmm? But it is what it is. Everybody, keep your hearts. Keep your hearts. Huh? Keep your mind on a light, a greater light. The greater light within you. I mean, make it shine as bright as you can. Huh? They're gonna be sending all kind of missiles and stuff trying to attack your light, honey. Coming from every direction, honey. And if you let it bounce, love bounce off like it hits you and kind of penetrate and taking dart back like a boomerang and hit the person that sent it, I'm telling you, don't you worry, huh? Now, some of them might put up shields, be like, nope, I don't want that love. And that's okay. They made their choice. They said we down with Biden, Balak's mess. It's okay. It's just ain't nobody trying to change the script no more. It's time. Let's go. Huh? Let's get it done. Let's finish the job. I'm with you, Biden. Let's finish the job. Huh? Let's finish the job. Mind's eye. Huh? Greater light. Huh? I was just about to close out and I still am. Huh? I done said enough. Hmm? Greater light, honey. Greater light. Did I mention the Hemi? Him, me. I did. I mentioned it. That means you was on my mind's eye, huh? Where's Hunter? Hunter, he don't come see me no more. Huh? Guess what? I'll see y'all on the light side. Huh? I'll see you on the light side.